So I am really excited to share a little bit about this tonight. I texted Brittany earlier and I was like, hey, what are your thoughts on all of this? I threw all my notes her way on what I kind of wanted to share and talk about. But I think it's really good and really appropriate for the new year and us just kind of maneuvering and figuring out where we want to go and revisiting our why. Those of you that have done a boot camp call with us, you've probably heard us say, revisit your why. We have to do that even as Jules while we're here, because your why is what's going to keep you moving forward, even in those hard seasons, even in the hard growth, burnout, plateau seasons of maneuvering how to move forward. Okay. The only difference between me, Brittany, and Natalie and you guys is that we just didn't give up. Okay. We didn't give up. We've stuck it out. We've learned how to grow through the things that we've gone through. And so I'm excited about just kind of sharing, a little bit of kind of, and this is leadership. All of you on here are leaders in some type of way, whether that is in your Plexus business, in your family, maybe you're a mama, in your community. All of you are leaders in your Plexus business, and there are risks involved when it comes to being a leader in this business. Okay, Britt, if you want to mute them, feel free. I'm going to pull this up on. Okay, can you still see me, Brittany, whenever I do that? Okay, good deal. All right, so there are some risks involved when it comes to Plexus and where you want to be and where you want to go. And some things that I know Brittany and Natalie and I have learned, and even people that have been doing this for a while, Blakely, Megan Barham, people that have been in this for a long time know that there are risks involved in your leadership when it comes to Plexus. And one of those things is we have to be open for change. We have to be open to learn new things. You may be an Enneagram 7, but you can learn how Enneagram 3s work. You may be an Enneagram 3, but you can learn how Enneagram 9s work, okay? We have to be open to growth, and we have to be open to new things. Post-COVID, everybody on this call knows that there's always change happening somewhere. It's up in the air. Like COVID literally showed us that anything can happen at any time. And so you have to be open to growing. What are you reading right now to level up your leadership? What are you currently reading right now to level up your personal growth and your confidence and to get rid of negativity and to overcome insecurity? What are you doing right now to improve that? Okay. Another thing I wrote down was great leaders don't set out to be a great leader. They set out to make a difference. And that's what sets it to me. Like when I look at somebody, when I look at somebody that is a leader that I look up to, that I feel like influences me in a positive way, it's somebody that's making a difference. It's somebody that is showing up, that is not giving excuses, that is not going off the grid for a week on social media because they're overwhelmed. They are showing up and working through those feelings of being overwhelmed. They're showing up and working through those feelings of burnout, or somebody turning their subscription off, or somebody telling you that the products don't work. Okay. They are showing up and working through those things. So I want y'all to think about that. Like in the last couple of weeks, have you kind of let yourself get down when something doesn't go your way, or when a customer quits, or when, somebody makes fun of you because of this Plexus thing? Like, what are you doing whenever that struggle comes? Okay. Another thing I wrote down was long-term vision is key if you want to be successful with this and become a jewel. Okay. Everybody on this call has the potential to become a jewel because everything in this business is figure outable. Everything in this business is figure outable. Brittany and I had 0 jewels above us teaching us everything that we needed to know. Okay. But we did not let that stop us. We worked together and we knew that this is what we wanted to do. And so everything is figure outable. If you have not created a vision board for 2024, I want y'all to do that over the next couple of days and share it in your team thread. Okay. I know that like Natalie has a team thread, Daisha has a team thread, Blakely has a team thread, Bailey now has a team thread. So if y'all want to create a vision board for 2024, do that. And your vision board can have your house, you know, maybe a house that you want to buy or a house that you want to build, a Plexus Lexus if you want to drive the Plexus Lexus, a new car for your family, a vacation that you want to go on. Maybe you want to take your family skiing over, you know, maybe this next Christmas break this year. Maybe you want to take your family skiing. Maybe you want to lose 30 pounds. Maybe you want to get back into the gym and you want to be more fit. Whatever your vision, claim that now and make a vision board. Yeah, you can take a picture of a diesel truck for sure, Cassie. And put that on your vision board. No problem. No judgment here, y'all. Like this is that I love our community so much because I love that we can just share that. So your vision board, I use Canva. There's an app called Canva and there's an app called Pic Collage. You can attach all of those together on one board and send it in our group. You can Pinterest also vision boards, dream boards. But if you have not done that for 2024, yeah, Morgan finished hers last night and it is so cute. It's so good. You set it as the background on your phone. Like set it as the background on your phone to where every time you open your phone, you're seeing that vision board. She just sent it in our threads for those of you that are in mine and Brittany's thread and then that dream team thread. But they're really good. Long-term vision is key. I will never forget when I created my first vision board and I thought that they were crazy. I literally put a white house. When I was a gold ambassador, I was living in DeQueen, Arkansas. Actually, no, Derrick's, Arkansas. I was a gold ambassador and I put a white house on my vision board. Y'all, we built a white house 2 years ago. Like we're living in a white house right now. Okay. That's how important these vision boards need to be to you and your dreams. Okay. Those are huge. So make a vision board. Long-term vision is key. You're not in this for short term. Those of you that are even making side money, don't look at this like some of you are signing up people and you're never connecting them with your sponsor and you're not checking in on them and you're only winning the incentives and you're only winning the prizes. That is hurting your customers because you may not be in a place financially that needs this money, but those customers very well might be in a place that needs this money and they need you to show up and influence and encourage in that way so that they can have those seeds planted. Does that make sense? Like you may not need this and want to work this business full time, but somebody on your team might. And you showing up and encouraging them and connecting them to your sponsor and getting them on these little calls. Like I've been doing Meet Marissa calls with some of my people that are signing up their new customers, a 15-minute Meet Marissa call. And they have been so good. Okay. Callie, Megan, Taylor, Bailey, they've all gotten their customers on a Meet Marissa call with me. It takes 15 minutes. I share why I'm here, how I started, all of the things. And it has been so good. So ask your sponsor, say, hey, I want to connect some of my new VIPs with you. Can we do a Meet Cheyenne call or a Meet Emily call or a Meet Ambrosia call? Like, do that because that connection one-on-one is so much better than a text or a message back and forth. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Next, I wrote down, I want you guys to ask your new silvers or your new VIPs who want to work the business, ask to host an event with them. So I did this with Bailey Little. This is a perfect example. I did this with Bailey Little as soon as she signed up. I had her, Erica, and Whitney Butler all do a 72-hour favorite things Christmas party. And I kind of like threw her in it, but she was like all for it. She did a live curling her hair, talking about how she's been on the skinny shot and, you know, the negative side effects. She was super nervous, but she did it. And y'all, her team signed up 17 people in December. So that is like that right there to me was like light bulb. Y'all get some of your silvers and new VIPs doing an event with you. Like ask if Heather was one of my new VIPs and she just went silver, I would call her and be like, okay, listen, you just went silver. I want to do something with you. I want to host like a 20-minute Zoom where you can invite some of your friends and family. We can call it like a wellness favorite things, 20-minute party, whatever, and just share, why we love these Plexus supplements and how they've helped. I can show my before and after picture. I can show the combo of what the triplex and balance looks like. Here's a message to send to some of your friends and family. And I want you to share a little bit. I'm going to ask you some questions and we can kind of chat back and forth, interview style, to where you're not doing it by yourself. Does that make sense? Like your new silvers and some of your new customers need you to take the bull by the horns and do that. Like they need you to say, I want to host an event with you, whether that's a messenger event, a Zoom event, whatever that looks like. They need you to do that with them because events are huge, especially for new silvers. Emily Warren, shout out to her. She did a Zoom call with Blakely and LB, and I think, who was the other one? Yeah, unmute yourself, Emily. You tell me. Bailey. So it was Bailey, Emily, LB, and Blakely. And Emily kind of got thrown into that. And she shared, and like Blakely texted me and was like, Emily is a boss. Like she's a brand new silver. She shared on that Zoom. Emily, really quick, share what that did for your confidence because you're brand new. So what did you think whenever you were asked to do an event like that?
I was honored to even be asked because I'm so new at this. And it just, I don't know, I feel a part of this group and this team. And so just to feel included was really big for me.
Yeah.
So because just like in the SPED world, you kind of feel alone, no support. So just to have this is really awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. So y'all be thinking right now of your new silvers and some of your new customers that could be really good at this. Write them down and let's start reaching out to them. And y'all can even pair them together. Like Sarah Hurst, if you have 2 new silvers and a new VIP that did a shout out post and she's interested, link them up and be like, hey, I'll do it with you. We'll do it with you. Me, you, Cheyenne, like we'll just do a little mini event and we can invite some friends and family because it's an action step for them to invite some of their friends and family. And it's not like a corporately wide Zoom where like these team calls are always good and the team events are always good. But if you personally do an event with them, like Emily just said, that made her feel really special, really included versus, hey, Emily, we're doing a event Thursday night for postpartum mamas. Feel free to invite some of your friends and family. No, I'm saying, hey, Emily, we want you to share a little bit. So invite some of your friends and family and I'll help you with it. It takes a little bit of time, but that's where you're going to see leaders born. You're going to see leaders born doing events and gaining confidence in that way. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. All right. So I wrote down risks of hard conversation can be really hard. Hard conversation is hard, but you can be a people developer or a people pleaser. Leaders bring out the best in others rather than pleasing people. This is something that I had to learn. So you can be a people pleaser or a people developer. How many of you are people pleasers? Okay, all of y'all better raise your hand because I know all y'all on here and y'all be pleasing some people. I know, okay? Here's the thing. It is exhausting trying to live that way. It is exhausting, okay? So you have to level up your mindset. And how do you do that? You read books, you listen to podcasts, you grow personally, you improve your mindset, you do coaching calls, you challenge yourself to go live, to do all of these things. That's how you improve that. But you can either be a people developer or a people pleaser. You can't be both. And I have had to learn that through my journey because if I sit here and try to please everybody, I get really overwhelmed. But this boot camp, shout out to Natalie, by the way. If those of y'all that don't know, that was her idea. Natalie Passmore's idea to do a business building basics boot camp during the month of January. And it has been so freaking good, y'all. Like, it has been so good. So this boot camp, though, has really taught me, like, sitting down and doing these one-on-one Zooms and giving y'all personal challenges to achieve, and like getting down to the nooks and crannies of like your fears and your goals and your dreams and sharing your whys. That has been huge for us as leaders to hear that, because it helps us with developing you, helping develop you, rather than just telling you what you want to hear and patting you on the back and telling you that you're doing a good job. Okay. I want to be a people developer. And Christina Williams, if y'all don't know her, she has really helped me over the last couple of weeks with like my mindset, because she's like, Marissa, you're so good at this and you will be a diamond, but you have to stop pleasing people, because pleasing people is what holds you back. And I'm like, I know, but like, that's how the Lord made me. And he just made me to be this big lover. And she's like, yes, you're a lover, but you can't develop people on a deeper and more, to me, she said, you can't develop people on a more intense level to get to where they need to be if you're always telling them what they want to hear and trying to please them. Does that make sense? So you can either be a people developer or a people pleaser. I like that. Notice where you fall short and acknowledge that. When you tell your team, hey, I'm still learning this too, we can learn this together, how does that make them feel? Like they can do this because you don't know it all. I would much rather, and this is in general, this is just a statistic that I read. People would much rather follow someone that is real than someone that is always right. Think about that for a second. Do you like to follow people that are always right and they always know it all and they're perfect at everything and they always know the right thing to say? No, you want to follow people that are real, that are like, y'all, I'm a hot mess express, but I'm learning too. Like I told Bailey the other day, she was like, Marissa, I cannot talk on my stories. I'm terrified. I'm so scared. I sweat before I go to do it. Like I'm so nervous. I said, Bailey, you do know that you could get on your stories and be like, okay, y'all, I was challenged to do this and I really don't want to do it, but here we are. And I just want to challenge y'all that like, you can do hard things. You can do things that you don't really want to do. And that's how we're going to grow, is by facing our fears head on. And this is me doing that. So here we are. Like, how real is that to like get on there and share that? Because guess what's going to happen? Her audience is going to see that she is starting something new and they're going to be inspired by that. So you don't have to always be right. Just be real and open with your team. Let them know that you're still working on things. You're still growing. You're still learning. I love that saying. And I feel like Brittany, me, and Natalie do a very good job at this. This is not us tooting our own horn, but really, I feel like we do a good job at saying, we do this too. We struggle too. We have these issues too. We're worried about what people think too. And we are. But the difference between us and maybe someone that's newer to growing, the difference between us and them is that we just face it head on. We don't let those things hold us back. Y'all, when they called to ask me to speak at Super Saturday, people have been messaging me like, are you nervous? I'm like, not really. But I think it's because the Lord has completely covered me and told me, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. So you have to face that head on. Okay. So challenging y'all, show up in your stories this week, you know, do the reach out, voice record messages, all of that. Okay. Lastly, the more you look for opportunities to be real about what you're going through, the more conversations you're going to get. So if you're in a season right now where you're struggling, you're hurting, you're broken, maybe you've had a season like that in the past. Okay. I had a coaching call with LB this morning and we talked about this specifically. We were like, she's been through a really hard, broken season of life. And she is learning how to have conversations about that and being vulnerable. And so I told her, I said, show up in your stories. When you're listening to this audio, I sent her a leadership book to start doing. I said, when you're listening to this audio and you are learning from it, show up and talk about that, because there are people that are struggling with the same thing. And some of y'all who have struggled in the past are literally going to be a conversation starter to help somebody through their broken season. Does that make sense? So stop letting fear hold you back and just go for it in 2024. And it takes practice. So if you've never went live, it starts with just going live. If you've never talked on your story, it starts with just talking on your story. Okay. All right. And then lastly, be the person that you want to become. Do something every day to get to where you want to be. And I want y'all to think about that. When you're making your vision board, what does she look like? Heather, when you're thinking about 6 months from now, what does Heather look like? What is she thinking? I know she's got some sugar daddy somewhere, but what is she thinking? You know, who is she talking to? What conversations is she making? When she walks into a room of people, how is she presenting herself? Think about that. Like, think about where you want to be and who you want to become, because that doing something every day to get there, you're going to be in a completely different place 6 months from now. And you can be if you just simply start doing the things today. Okay. So before we hop off, these coaching calls are super important. If you don't have one scheduled this week, get with me, Brittany, or Natalie, get them scheduled. They are super important to your business. These team calls are great, but it's like going to church. We're going to church here on team call, but you have to get into the spending time with the Lord and doing your devotionals and having quiet time to develop that relationship with him. Same thing with your leadership and your Plexus business. These team calls are great, but you have to go and take action steps to grow personally, to grow as a leader. Coaching calls, challenging yourself, telling your husband, if you have not sat your husband down and say, hey, this is why I'm doing this. I know you think I'm crazy, but this is why I'm doing this. And when you're taking him on a trip somewhere for free, he's going to remember that conversation that you had with him. Evan thought Brittany was psycho. Alan thought I was nuts. Ethan thought Natalie was crazy. She told him she wanted to quit teaching. She said, babe, I'm about to quit teaching and I'm going to come home with Parker full time. Do you think that Ethan Passmore went for that? Absolutely not. But you know what she did say? I know that I can do this and I want you to support me and we can do this together. Okay. It takes you taking that step, long-term vision. Where will you be 6 months from now? Claim that. Write it on your mirror, do your vision board, put it as the background on your phone, share it in our team threads. We want to see that. Okay. Y'all were made to do this. Y'all are here for a reason. And every single one of you has gifts and stories. Think about the impact that you can make through one. I shared that the other day on the Hope Dealers. Through one person, the positive influence and impact that you make on one person goes and impacts hundreds of more people. Okay. Y'all don't realize, even if you have only 700 Facebook friends, you have influence here. Okay. And we want to help you. We want to guide you. If you're not registered for Super Saturday, make sure you are registered. Register your spouse. If you've not registered him, you don't want to miss You don't want to miss registration, because they are going to be doing something big specifically for those who have registered. So make sure you and your spouse are registered for Super Saturday. Get to a location if you can. Texarkana, Benton. I know Dacia's hosting where she's from. Get to a location if you can. Okay. This Saturday is going to be so good for our company, for the future of 2024, for the future of your business, getting to mingle with other people that are growing. Some of you that are like, I've never met y'all and I'm super nervous. That's okay. We were super nervous too. It's so cold, Blakely. My gosh, I'm not even eating it. I'm gonna have to go warm it up. So I want y'all to remember that. Those of you that are nervous to walk into Super Saturday, all of us had to one time walk in to a room like that. And we are one Plexus and we will make you feel special. I'm going to FaceTime all of y'all that are hosting while I'm there in Arizona just to say hi to y'all. So it's going to be fun, but share what you took away from this call in the team threads. Share on your stories what you took away. Share in a post. Like, take a little selfie by your computer on the couch and talk about what you learned from team call and how this is going to help you in your life and improving. Okay. All right, friends. I love y'all. Have a good night.